Final score, Stoke City 1, Wrexham 0, and yeah, we can't really complain about that. It was a bit annoying, wasn't it, really? I mean, Stoke remind me of Wrexham last season. They were the best defence in the division, only in 6 goals now in the first 10 games of the season. And they look very much, having seen a bit of their other games, like the sort of side that can dig in and squeeze a lot of 1-0 wins out of a campaign. That's a good way, as we know, to get promoted. So, for me, the kind of frustration was that the nature of their goal was annoying. And while, don't get me wrong, overall, Stoke were the more deserving team to win, please don't misunderstand me, I can't help feeling that the sort of team they are, they don't necessarily have gears to go up if they're chasing a game in the second half, necessarily, against a team that were defending as well as we were, because, yeah, the goal turned everything. Up until the goal, I was very happy with how Wrexham were doing. As you'll see now when I go through the incidents, the goal is first time really that Stoke caused any problem for us, and it's a cross that goes straight in, I think. As I'll talk to in a moment, there are a couple of Wrexham players who may get a touch, but I don't think they do. I think it goes straight through. And whereas obviously Sorba Thomas is excellent at delivering the ball in and from those deeper areas as well. And you get rewarded if you keep putting the ball in the right area. So I'm not trying to, sort of take credit away from him. But the fact is he's not trying to score. He's put the ball into a really good area and we've not been able to deal with it properly. And as a result, we've been punished. And that's a galling goal to concede in a game like that, which kind of has 0-0 written all over it, unless something dramatic happens. That was the dramatic thing. Anyway, so we started out with Kakache and Rathbone back on the bench, but the same 11 otherwise that drew against Birmingham. And like I said, we started first couple of minutes very brightly, really getting at Stoke, and then settled into a pattern where we were often in our mid-block, but we were very comfortable in that. And Stoke weren't getting in behind us. So they got quality out wide, and they were sometimes getting overloads, especially down the right, but they weren't necessarily really getting around the back of us or getting into the box all that much. We looked sound and good on the break. We had the first chance from a set piece, a corner on the right left-hand side. Kiefer Moore manages to lose his man at the far post, 6 yards out, and decides to plant it back in the goal mouth. Hyam is there a couple of yards out, but yeah, unluckily for us, Victor Johansson, I would argue, is possibly the best keeper in the division, and he's very sharp and gets there ahead of Hyam to intercept. Then we have an immense opportunity, and I say the goal was crucial. This is equally crucial, I would say. 21st minute, an excellent move by Wrexham down the right. Lovely, snappy passing. Dobson in the middle of it. Sends Kabore away. His pace is terrific, as we know, and so he surges into the box in the right channel. He just hesitates for a moment. You can see him thinking, there are players in the box I can feed this to, but this is also a shooting opportunity. Decides in the end to shoot. Hits it with power across the keeper. Really good save by Johansson. It falls for Longman. And he's in front of an open goal. He's slightly beyond the far post, about 15 yards out, but it's an open goal and he's got time to take a touch, really. But he takes it on his right foot because it's a stronger foot. He's playing on the left, so it's coming onto his stronger foot and hits the post. I mean, what a chance it is. And for a team like us who are looking solid defensively, to take a lead and force Stoke to try and commit players forwards as the game goes on would have been a big thing. But it didn't happen. There was a bit of drama soon afterwards, which the referee Thomas Bramwell handled really exceptionally well. Pressure on Wrexham on the edge of our area. The ball is fed in. Doyle is tracking the run of Baker, and basically he, I think, inadvertently intercepts the ball, hits him as they're trying to feed the ball beyond him. He doesn't realise for a second and then turns to try and clear it, and Baker looks to nip in on the blind side, hoping that perhaps he can get kicked. Doyle doesn't kick him, but Baker goes down very convincingly. Certainly convincingly enough for me to think it was a penalty. It was right down beneath me. The ball drops loose. Mubama makes a much less convincing attempt to buy a free kick as he leans into a defender and then throws himself to the ground. Fair play to the referee. He sees through both of them, doesn't give a foul, and as Stoke protest angrily, Wrexham break really dangerously, release O'Brien down the left-hand side and loads of space. Moore is lurking at the far post, marked by one. O'Brien can't quite pick him out, so he drills it in. Defender makes an interception and the opportunity is gone. And then the 36th minute comes what is the decisive moment. It's an annoying one because Stoke knock a long ball over the top. Doyle is covering around the back three with no pressure on him, but picks the wrong foot to try and deal with it and completely slices it from about 25 yards out, way over his own crossbar for a corner. The initial corner from Sorba Thomas is dealt with, but it comes back out to him. He fakes to go around the outside on his left. Longman goes across to cover, and that just creates a little bit of space for Thomas to whip back onto his right foot and rip the ball into the goalmouth. And this is where the two possible but maybe not touches come in, and they are decisive. Sheaf is about 15 yards out, doesn't seem to anticipate it really, and so doesn't move his feet and swings a foot at it. Looks to me like he misses it. Kiefer Moore is right behind him and maybe is distracted thinking that Sheaf's going to clear it. It comes through onto him. I'm not convinced he touches it, but it sort of goes under his foot and spins back up again and spins over the crowded goalmouth. Concour's got no chance. He's behind a lot of bodies, and it just loops inside the far post. It's a fluke, like I said before. If you put the ball in the right areas often enough, good things happen for you. And so, maybe Thomas can argue that, but it's a frustrating one. And Wrexham instantly respond well and have a couple of decent little breakaways, but then it all peters out a bit. We get to half-time 1-0 down. And in the second half, we don't respond. Although I have sympathy with what Phil Parkinson said after the game, that the problem was, if anything, they tried a bit too hard. They were really getting stuck in, trying to force opportunities, but it wasn't happening. Stoke are able to pen us in a lot more effectively. And this goes on for the first 15 minutes of the half. And they do actually look a little bit more threatening. Baker is starting to influence the game more and more. He feeds in Mubama driving down a left channel from deep, and he hits a shot from the edge of the area. We're right behind it. I think it's going just wide, but Okonkwo can't take that chance. Lunges full stretch, makes a good save, pushing it out wide. Baker is able to keep it alive though, and when he pulls it back intelligently, there's a chance for a shot to be driven in. Hyam does really well to get across and block it as it's drilled towards goal. Soon afterwards, another moment of danger, a good breakaway down the right-hand side. Manhoff feeding a neat pass inside. This time Mubama's in the right channel, driving forwards. It's quite a tight angle though, and he drills in a shot, trying to beat a Concourt at his near post and sends it into the side netting. But we're not now getting the ball forward. Our defence has done well. The three centre-backs have been solid, but we're not really managing to get at Stoke at all. And so Phil Parkinson makes a triple change just after the hour, again being decisive, and again, like at Leicester, it does rejuvenate us. He brings on Matty James, Libby Kakache and Nathan Broadhead. Off go Sheaf, Longman and Dobson. O'Brien drops back into the deeper position in the box midfield. We've now got Broadhead and Windass trying to feed off more. We improve a bit, although it's Stoke that have the next opportunity. A 25-yarder from Baker, which I don't think is going to trouble a Concourt. Takes a deflection off Hyam and sort of spins, and for a moment you think, oh gosh, not another nasty deflection is going to go in, but it drops wide of the right post. And also Doyle makes a tremendous last man tackle on Mubama when he slid in through the middle. So Parkinson makes another change. Kabore brought off, Ryan Barnett comes on, and we really are now starting to get at Stoke. The last 10 minutes is us putting pressure on and Stoke defending very well and then looking to hit us on the breakaway. With 10 minutes late, Kakache sweeps in a horrible cross on the left-hand side, which Creswell could only slice over his own bar. Windas's nice bit of movement has just got blind side of Creswell, and if he doesn't deal with the cross, Windass has got a great opportunity. We make another change as well, and it's the kitchen sink job change. On comes Sam Smith up front, off comes Dom Hyam from the back, so we now 4 at the back, very attacking diamond, being anchored by Matty James with Windass on one side of it, and who else was on the other side of it? Broadhead's O'Brien, of course, and Broadhead playing behind Moore and Smith, and we were really, really going for it. We make some sort of I don't want to say half chances, half opportunities for something to happen, and Sam Smith is very unfortunate, I would argue, because he does well, makes himself available for these chances, and is just fractionally off being able to pull it off. So you have Doyle putting a long ball into the box, Smith pulling to the far post as well to get his head to it, tries to steer it over Johansson with a looping header. It's just a tiny bit too high for him. It's a good effort. He's about 7-8 yards out, and it's intelligent. He does the right thing, I think, but it's just fractionally too high for him to be able to control it. Soon afterwards, there's another half chance. Moore taking a long ball from Okonkwo and flicking it on beautifully, and Smith looks to, with his first touch, just nick it beyond Wilmot, who's the last defender. He just gets a little too much on it. So again, Smith a bit unlucky. If he just got a slightly softer touch, he'd have been one-on-one, as is. Johansson's able to come sprinting off the line and smother it. And then also, there's another decent long ball by Doyle. Smith does well to be stronger than his marker, and he has a chance on the edge of the area to just flick it inside for Moore, who would have a sight of goal, and he sees it, he tries it, and again just can't quite find him. So I'm not criticising Smith for this. Having him up there in those closing stages led to us being able to make these opportunities, and each of those 3 times he couldn't quite get the required touch to really open Stoke up, and that was what we were really in the second half. We didn't make proper chances, to be honest. Like I said, Stoke are very, very good defensively, and they actually made good chances in these closing minutes as well. A 2-on-1 breakaway after a very stretched period of play sees Brozovic driving forwards. It's a nice move as he helps it on. Rigo first on the right, then Cisse, then Brozovic helping it across right to left, but Sober Thomas one-on-one with Okonkwo. Great save by Okonkwo, low to his left, strong wrist, repels the ball away. That leads to a really open period where both sides just briefly are out of shape. The game's incredibly stretched and you feel something's going to happen at either end, but in the end it calms down. And then, that was the second minute of added time. 4th minute of added time, there's another opportunity again because Wrexham were overcommitting. Baker does well once more and feeds the ball down the right channel. Cisse is there, tries to beat Okonkwo at his near post, hits it well, but Okonkwo stands up well and parries it behind. So frustration, massive frustration for Wrexham, who, like I said, it's the nature of the goal that gets me, because I felt we were holding them at arm's length, but once you're a goal down, holding a team at arm's length and breaking on them, you start feeling a bit more urgent for something more to happen, and I think the team tried to provide that and maybe just pushed themselves, as Phil Parkinson said, a bit too hard in trying to achieve that. Once again though, we have faced one of the strongest teams in the division. The Stoke are up to 3rd now, and we have shown that we are perfectly capable of competing with them. I kind of want to stop saying that. I feel we are perfectly capable, but I keep being asked, do you think we'll be okay? So, yeah, most definitely. Point out a league game this season, or any game this season, where you think, oh, the other side are a bit too good for us. I haven't seen them. But yeah, unfortunately for Wrexham, that goal was a bit of a killer, wasn't it? Still, a lot of high-stake games still to come, and performance level was decent enough. We need to build on that on Wednesday now, don't we? With a final score of Stoke City 1, Wrexham 0. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.